Here these days, though, to be an SU fan instead of a Giants fan. Tough season.
Giants have had, boy, such a tough year, and now every game it seems they can only do is play the spoiler. And today against Philadelphia, you know, at the start of the season, you might have circled this game as an important one for both teams. Two good old-fashioned smash-mouth NFC East matchups. Both playoff bound, right? Well, no, not exactly. We head to Philadelphia, and as you'll see, now, I'm no fashion expert, but I think that's a little big for a helmet. Early on, the Giants looking like the playoff-bound team we were talking about earlier. The flea flicker, Dave Brown to Thomas Lewis, touchdown, his first career TD, but things got worse. This time, Dave Brown looking right, and it's the wrong team, Dave. Mark McMillan, the pick, and the Eagles capitalized. They would do that all game long. Ricky Waters, well, he's had some criticism, but he's coming through for the Eagles. Up the middle for the touchdown. Philadelphia leads it 14-7. The Giants had their chances. Rodney Peete fumbles to give New York the ball, but what do the Giants do? Tyrone Wheatley, the rookie, you got to hold on to the ball. They fumble it right back, and then Philly would capitalize once again. Rodney Peete to Fred Barnett, the touchdown, and the Eagles win it 28-19. To Chicago and Soldier Field, there's a man with some job security, Dave Wannstedt. There's a man without, Wayne Fonts. Oh, but Fonts has Barry Sanders. Just give him the ball and let him run. So pretty. Up the left sideline, the Lions lead it 17-10 late, but the Bears tough at home. Eric Kramer, the bootleg right, plenty of green, and he finds the end zone. Tie game, 17-all. Now 2.5 minutes left to go. Backup quarterback Don Mikowski finding Herman Moore over the middle in the slot, 11 yards the touchdown, and the Lions pull it out. Staying in the playoff hunt, they win it 24-17. To the score as we go. And you may say that there is no team in the AFC that can win the Super Bowl, but I tell you what, the conference parity means that almost every team still has a shot at the playoffs, and that was the case in New England today. The Colts and the Patriots going at it, and Bill Parcells trying to somehow get in. But you have to stop Marshall Faulk if you're going to stop the Colts. And what does New England do? Wrap him up, wrap him up. They don't. And he busts free for the touchdown. Colts up 17-3. Patriots come back late. Curtis Martin, the rookie from Pitt, will scamper in around right tackle, but it was not enough. The Colts go on to win it 24-10. New England falling to 4-7 on the year. The Colts 6-5. To Cincinnati, and Bill Cowher trying to fire up his troops, but he didn't do it early. After getting down 18 in the third, the Steelers come back. Andre Hastings scores a touchdown, and then what is this? The option in the NFL? Yeah, that's right. Cordell Stewart to Eric Pegram. That makes it 31-28 Bengals in the fourth. The Steelers take the lead for good. Neil O'Donnell to Stewart. Wasn't this guy a quarterback in college? Hey, 70-yard touchdown, and Pittsburgh rolls on for the win, 49-31. The Steelers 7-4, first place in the AFC Central. Now we go to the scores, and you see Buffalo leading the Jets 21-10 in the third, and Dallas all over Oakland also in the third. As for some finals, Jacksonville loses to Tampa Bay, Atlanta a winner, Carolina beats Arizona, Green Bay over Cleveland 31-20, Seattle beats Washington, Minnesota leading New Orleans 30-10 in the third, and Denver leading San Diego 27-10 also in the third. Now, what else can you say about the BC win yesterday other than total domination? The Orangemen in sync in offense, defense, and special teams, too. Donovan McNabb was near perfect, 13 of 17 with 3 touchdowns. And despite giving up 29 points, look at what the defense did. 2 picks, 2 fumble recoveries, and 7 sacks. A total team effort from the Qs.
When it counted, we stood up and we set the wall, and we got the offense the ball back. And I think that was our goal today, to keep the hand in the offense, keep the ball in the offense's hand, because the offense creates a lot of problems.
Boston College embarrassed us the last 2 years. We came in this week saying we wasn't going to get embarrassed anymore. Defense kept us in good field position when the offense came on the field. The offense scored points. Great job by the offensive line, great job by the defense, and we won the game.
Now, as far as Syracuse heading to Miami, there is a new top 25 out, and Syracuse is a part of it. The top 5 mostly the same. Northwestern and Tennessee switch places as we look through 6 through 10. Florida State, Notre Dame, Colorado, and Kansas State fell from 7th to 10th. And there are the Big East teams. Virginia Tech at 13, Syracuse at 22, and Miami at 25. Now, as far as the bowl picture goes for the Orangemen, here's how it looks. With an SU loss to Miami on Saturday, the Orange go to the CarQuest Bowl. Done deal, end of story. But if the Orangemen beat the Hurricanes, they tie for the Big East title with Virginia Tech. Now, since the Big East does not have a tiebreaker, the top-tier bowl could very well pick Syracuse, even though Virginia Tech beat us and has a higher ranking. Don't you just love the bowl coalition? Well, from college football to college hoops, a huge tournament down south today with 4 of the top 6 women teams competing nationally in the Hall of Fame Tip-Off Classic in Knoxville, Tennessee. We do not have the highlights for you, but UConn, the top-ranked team, has been upset 83-81 in overtime. Deborah Williams hitting the game winner for Louisiana Tech, and in the other game today, Tennessee beats Virginia 78-51. And finally, David, the Syracuse Crunch hosting Fredericton, and it is 2-2 after 1.
And we'll have some highlights tonight at 11.
We will.
And we'll be waiting for that bowl bid. And we should mention John Burden earning a well-deserved day off. Steve Bunin, thanks for joining us tonight.
My pleasure.
All right, straight ahead tonight, from family ties to political ties, Michael J. Fox takes...
I'm a holiday.
That's right. And we should add, after the game, both teams donated $100 each to the Jamesville DeWitt Students Against Driving Drunk chapter.
Great.
Good thing to do indeed. And they looked a little bit better than the Jets out there today.
Well,
Man.
the Jets, they've had such a tough season. We were talking about the Giants, and for New York Jets, I mean, just everything that's gone wrong this year has. But a little extra motivation today against the Bills. Remember what happened the last time the two teams played? Remember Boomer Esiason knocked out by Bruce Smith. Well, today was his first game back. Hey la, my Boomer is back. But Buffalo strikes first. Jim Kelly, comfortable back in the no-huddle offense, looking to the left side and finding Bill Brooks. Nice move there at the 15-yard line. Touchdown, Buffalo. And later, the Bills starting to pour it on. Clayton Holmes going untouched around the left side. The Bills going to blow him out, right? No, not so fast. The Jets come back down 8. The last play of the game, Esiason, the Hail Mary, it's tipped and caught. Adrian Morrell catches it. Touchdown, Jets. They need the 2-point conversion to tie it. Esiason taking the snap, looking left, but it is batted away at the goal line, and the Bills sneak out with a win, 28-6. Now out west, the biggest game of the day, 2 Super Bowl contenders meeting in the Bay Area as the 8-2 Raiders taking on the 8-2 Dallas Cowboys. To the Bay Area we go, and that is a shoulder pad. Troy Aikman back for the Cowboys. The simple slat pattern to Michael Irvin in the first, and Cowboys up 7-0. We move to the second quarter. Emmitt Smith bounces it outside and into the end zone, a 4-yard touchdown. Dallas up 14-0. Raiders get on board. Harvey Williams, the comeback player of the year, maybe. He goes in, cutting the lead to 14-7. But as good as Harvey is, he is no Emmitt. Smith breaking tackles and another score. The Cowboys win it 34-21. To Philadelphia, and the Giants, they're actually leading in this game early. Dave Brown, the flea flicker. Are you kidding me? Thomas Lewis, a 46-yard TD. New York up 7-0. The Eagles come right back. Rodney Peete finding Fred Barnett in the back of the end zone, and we're tied. To the third quarter we go. Philadelphia leading 21-10. Ricky Waters just bowling over the Giant defenders, and the Eagles down New York 28-19. As we check the scores, Indianapolis and Pittsburgh winners, as were Denver and Seattle over Washington. Tampa Bay and Atlanta also winners. Carolina 27-7 over Arizona, and Detroit over Chicago 24-17. Green Bay 31-20 over Cleveland, and Minnesota romps New Orleans 43-24. In the late game, Houston and Kansas City are tied in the fourth. Now turning to the NBA, and it looks like the Knicks are really adjusting well to Coach Don Nelson's new offense. Tied for first place in the Atlantic, and tonight taking on Lawrence Moten and the expansion Vancouver Grizzlies. To Madison Square Garden. They look familiar? That's right.
Looks like about a 28.
Former Syracuse star Lawrence Moten. More on Lomo in a minute. Vancouver right in this thing. Ex-Knick Greg Anthony, I should say, putting it up. Vancouver up 4 in the first. Anthony Mason keeping Knicks in it. The fall away from 7, and New York up 1 at the half. Now here's Moten. Now these aren't garbage minutes either. Grizzlies down 3 in the third, 77-74. But New York would pull it out. Patrick Ewing will tip in the Oakley miss, and New York holds on 98-93 the final. Quickly to the NBA scoreboard. 2 late games, Atlanta and Sacramento. The Hawks leading by 7 in the fourth, and the Clippers and the Lakers out west. From pros to the college hoops, and a big tournament in Knoxville, Tennessee today. 4 of the top 6 teams in the nation, and they're all playing each other in the Hall of Fame Tip-Off Classic. Down south, the Volunteers in the late game, but in the first game, UConn and Louisiana Tech, Carla Berube, the circus shot, and the Huskies put it into OT. In overtime, Deborah Williams, the 3-ball, and Louisiana Tech up 2. The Huskies come right back, though. Carol Walters, the tip, and we're tied at 81. Now, time running down, 7, 6, 5. Williams somehow gets through and puts it in, and Louisiana Tech pulls off the upset, 83-81 in overtime. They will play Tennessee in the finals. To hockey now, and sort of a seesaw weekend for the Crunch. They roll over Hershey on Friday night, lose on the road at Adirondack last night, and this evening, the Crunch hosting Fredericton at the War Memorial. The Crunch man celebrating his first birthday, and look at that, 12 months, he's already teething. But the Canadians bite first in the first. Seb Bordelot, the slap shot, power play goal, Fredericton up 2-zip. Crunch come right back. Bogdan Savenko on the break. He puts it in. The shorthanded goal ties it at 2. In the second, watch this. Just as he plans it, Yuri Kuznetsov into the net soft. That's a goal soft, and the Crunch win it soft. 3-2 the final. A happy end to a long weekend for Coach McElhargy and the Crunch. And as we crunch the numbers, you see the 3-2 win. Attendance 5,500, not too bad. And the next game Wednesday at Baltimore at 7:30. And quickly to the NHL scores as we're running out of time. You will see the late games. Philadelphia over Vancouver in overtime. Florida over Anaheim 4-3. San Jose over Chicago 3-2 in the third. And Buffalo shuts out Ottawa. Dominic Hasek, 31 saves in the shutout. And that's a look at sports.
It's great to see Lawrence Moten, too, in the Grizzlies.
Oh, yeah, he's doing a nice job for the Vancouver team.
Steve Bunin, thanks for filling in for John tonight.
My pleasure.
Thanks, Steve.
Still ahead tonight, some of the keys
Down in Miami for the big game on Saturday, while the basketball team is preparing for a big game of its own. Steve Bunin is in the sports department with all the details. Steve?
Thanks, Lynn. And you know, if you're a Syracuse sports fan, you have your work cut out for you this weekend. The football team is in Miami, of course, to take on the Hurricanes, the big game Saturday. John Burton is in sunny Florida, and he'll have the Burton is certain pick from sunny Florida at 6. As for the basketball team, well, they tip off their regular season tomorrow as well, hosting the Lafayette Leopards at the Dome. While the basketball team is disappointed with its defense so far, the rebounding has been a nice surprise.
We didn't rebound that good last year, and this year we rebounded pretty good, so that's because Coach Boeheim was really pleased about that. We still got to work on defense and helping each other.
If anything, we have stressed a little bit more on the defensive end than normal, but the one bright note that came through the 2 exhibition games, I'm not sure how much that'll keep going into the season, is our rebounding was better than it's been in a long time, so hopefully we'll be able to build on that.
Now, if Syracuse teams weren't busy enough for you tomorrow, how about tonight? You've got the women's basketball team visiting Holy Cross, the Crunch hosting Portland at the War Memorial, and of course a full slate of NBA and NHL action, and some big games from college hoops tonight. 11 of the top 25 teams are in action, including 5th-ranked Georgetown against number 19 Arizona in the finals of the preseason NIT championship in Madison Square Garden. Now, one quick update for you. In a game completed earlier today, Boston College over Rutgers in a shootout, 41-38. I'll have highlights at 6. For now, I'm Steve Bunin, WTVH 5 Sports.
All right, thank you very much, Steve. Bunin is in for John Burton tonight. Obviously, this game with Miami tonight, or actually this weekend that SU has, is important not only from the standpoint of winning against Miami, but the bowl picture as well.
Well, that's right. I mean, it's been such a surprising season for the Orangemen, and the fact that they have a chance at one of the top-tier bowls. Who would have thought it at the beginning of the year? For the Syracuse Orangemen, the 1995 season can already be called a pleasant success, but a win tomorrow at the Orange Bowl would vault SU back to the level they were at in 1992. John Burton is with the Orangemen in Miami, and he has this game preview.
Welcome to the Orange Bowl, a place where no Big East team has ever won. Burton is certain pick of the week. Miami 33, Syracuse 20. John Burton, WTVH 5 Sports.
Well, obviously the Orangemen-Miami game is the biggest of the weekend for the Big East, but we can only hope it's as exciting as the one between Boston College and Rutgers today, a shootout between the two teams at the bottom of the Big East cellar. Mark Hartzell had a big game for the Eagles. Here he hits Dennis Harding, and the Eagles on the big comeback. Now down 4. They drive the length of the field, and with a minute left to go, Hartzell to Todd Pollock. He rambles into the end zone, 336 yards and 4 touchdowns on the day for Hartzell. And BC now goes up 41-38. Rutgers has one last chance. We're going to slow it down for you. They go the length of the field. They get to the 12-yard line, decide to go for the win and not the tie, but Ray Lucas is intercepted by Rob Clifford, and the Eagles pull it out 41-38. Well, some quick updates for you. Pittsburgh is at West Virginia, and starting the third quarter, the Mountaineers lead at 14-0. They've already blocked 2 Pittsburgh punts. And another final for you, Nebraska, the #1 ranked team in the nation, rolls on 37-0 over Oklahoma. Now turning to SU hoops, the basketball team is understandably ready to get their season underway after a so-so preseason at best. The Orangemen finally tip off the regular season tomorrow afternoon at the Dome. Now obviously John Wallace expected to have a big game and really a big season, but the key to the 95 team, besides the play of Lazar Sims at the point, may be the play of Todd Bergen at the 3, the sophomore getting his first chance to start for the Orangemen.
I'm not going out there trying to put up a certain amount of points or anything. I'm just trying to get out there and help my team win ball games. If it counts, depends on me scoring some points, then that's what I have to do.
He probably will score a lot of points this season and tomorrow against Lafayette as well. So the Orangemen tip off their season, and the football team against Miami couldn't really ask for anything more.
So what's your bet? We heard Burton's bet.
I think I'm going to go with John. If they were at Syracuse, I would go with the Orangemen, but I'd say probably around 33-21 Miami.
Oh, we'll see tomorrow.
Sorry, Orangemen fans.
Especially you being an SU grad.
What can you say?
All right. Well, thanks a lot, Steve. Still ahead, feeling a little full. And John Burton probably has the roughest job in town right now. Going down to Florida, I'll tell you, we feel for him. That's
tough job being a sportscaster in Miami. Sunny, 80 degrees, sure isn't Syracuse weather. Now, don't get me wrong, I'm very happy to be here in Syracuse right now, but I'd be lying to you if I didn't acknowledge my utter jealousy of John Burton. You see, he's in sunny Florida, as we said, about 80 degrees, and here is his preview of tomorrow's big game.
Boy, it is a tough job to come down here to South Florida in the middle of November, but hey, somebody's got to do it. Anyway, about the game. A year ago, after beating Syracuse, Miami linebacker Ray Lewis was asked, will they? Well, I hope I'm wrong, but I still like Miami 33-20. With the Orangemen in Miami, John Burton, WTVH 5 Sports.
Now, a couple other Big East games today. Pittsburgh getting shut out by West Virginia, and in a shootout, BC over Rutgers, 41-38. Also, #1 ranked Oklahoma Wallops. Nebraska Wallops, Oklahoma. They go on to the Fiesta Bowl, and they will play the winner of the Florida State game on Saturday. Now, the Orangemen basketball team opened their season tomorrow at the Dome against Lafayette, but Big East rival Georgetown is well into its regular season. Tonight, the 5th-ranked Hoya is facing #19 Arizona in the finals of the preseason NIT championship at Madison Square Garden. And early on, the Wildcats with some bad luck. Michael Dickerson, one of their big scorers, has to leave after hurting his ankle, but Arizona picks up the intensity. Miles Simon to Ben Davis for the stuff. Wildcats up 8 early, but who can stop Allen Iverson? Get used to this combo, Orange fans. Victor Page to Iverson. Man, can he get up. The game is now in the second half, not yet over. 67-63 is the latest update we have. That was with about 8:15 left to play in the second. To Springfield, Massachusetts, and the top-ranked Kentucky Wildcats against Maryland. Now, you see coaches well-dressed, but not like twins all the time. Rick Pitino and Gary Williams, two well-coached teams. Early in the first half, Keith Booth, the jumper, no. Johnny Rhodes, the follow, yes. Terps up 8. UK, so tough, though. Jeff Shepard to my buddy Mark Pope. Used to dunk on me in his backyard in Seattle, and now dunking on the Terrapins. Wildcats lead by 2 at the half. In the second, more jamming from Kentucky. This time, the alley-oop. It's Walter McCarty sending it in. Top-ranked UK pulls away at the end, 96-84. Checking other scores from the college ranks today, UConn and Iowa in overtime still tied. Louisville a win over American. Michigan beaten by Georgia Tech, upset there, and Virginia pulls it out over Tennessee Martin, not too much trouble. Now, turning to the pros, if you had to choose which team in the league has the best duo, you'd probably take either Utah or Chicago. The Jazz have 2 future Hall of Famers with John Stockton and Karl Malone. So do the Bulls with Scottie Pippen and Michael Jordan. That's his name, right? Does he really need the chalk? Before every game, he dusts off his hands, but the great one. Early on, though, it was Scottie Pippen. The crossover, the left-handed stuff. Oh, the Bulls have the lead. And then it's Jordan. Posting, spinning baseline, over Hornacek, over Malone, to air. Is not human? Hey, it is if you're Jordan. You say he's not back? I beg to differ. Maybe the chalk helped after all. 32 points for MJ, and the Bulls win it by 5, 90-85. Chicago 10-1, the best record in the NBA. Checking the scores, Miami losing big to Washington. Charlotte a winner. Also Detroit and Golden State winners. Minnesota losing by 1 to Orlando. Nick Anderson with 34 points there. Denver and Dallas still in OT. The Nets and Portland early in the second, as well as Seattle and San Antonio. Now, the Syracuse Crunch are still a few games over 500, 11-9-1, good for second place in the Central. And the key tonight against Portland, getting a few shots past former NHL veteran Ron Tugnut, who now roams the nets for the Pirates. To the War Memorial. Now, that's a new kind of power play. just a little bit wide to the left. The crunch man enjoying the game early. In the second period, tied at 3, Lonnie Bohannes, the slap shot past Tugnut, crunch lead 4-3. The Pirates come right back, though. Just 3 minutes later, the slap shot goes off Kay Whitmore's shoulder. Now it's loose in the front, and Martin Gendron puts it in. That tied it at 4. And as we crunch the numbers, you see that the Syracuse Crunch go on to actually win it, scoring 2 in the third for the 6-4 victory. Brian Loney, the game winner. The next game at Carolina on Sunday. To the majors and the Sabres in a rough game against the Islanders. Ouch. A lot harder to play when you're sitting in the bench. Islanders jump on top early. The one-timer no-go, but the putback by Todd Bertuzzi, I should say, puts New York up 1-0 past Dominik Hasek. Buffalo finally comes back to tie it in the third. The 2-on-1, yes, and that's the way it would end. 1-1 in a tie. Quickly checking the NHL scores. Detroit losing to Philadelphia 4-1. Chicago a winner in overtime over Anaheim. Tampa Bay doubles up Washington, and Hartford shuts out Toronto. So a big weekend for Syracuse sports fans. The Orangemen tipping off their basketball team, tipping off the regular season opener tomorrow against Lafayette, and Syracuse against Miami in the Orange Bowl.
And your bet on that SU-Miami game?
I tell you, I'd love to go with the Orangemen, but like we said, it's 6. Unless if they were at home, maybe. But since they're on the road at the Orange Bowl, I'm going to take the Hurricanes. Like John said, I hope I'm wrong.
Want to put a pizza on that?
Okay.
Sounds good to me. Hey.
All right.
Anyway, still ahead, the search for a missing California model continues.
The scenes. And John Burton is in Miami for the big football game, and Steve Bunin is in. This is the time of year when you have to root for both the football and the basketball teams.
I know, it's an exciting time for Syracuse sports fans. The basketball team, the football team, it's
going nuts.
Yeah, I'm crazy about it. And Syracuse basketball is back. You can play as many exhibition games as you want, but it's just not the same as the regular season. And like the fans, the Orangemen ready to start the real thing, too. This afternoon, a good opportunity to get off on a winning note against a young and not too talented Lafayette squad. We head to the Carrier Dome, and you've heard of the Dome Ranger, but how about the Dome Knitter? Would the Orangemen please her, though? You'll see. Early in the first half, Jason Sapola from long range, the 3. He really sparked the offense today. 14 points for Sapola. Then Lazar Sims off, awkward-looking jumper, right? No, the alley-oop to John Wallace. SU up 13-zip. Yikes. And how about that Dome Knitter? Yeah, she likes that. Okay. Now, more Wallace from David Patrick, the jam. 20 points for J-Dubs on 6 of 11 shooting. Former West Hill standout Craig Kowadla for 2. The nice drive, he had 14 back in the Carrier Dome. One question mark today, how would Otis Hill play? Well, pretty well. The second man off the bench for the Orange. Here the short turnaround, putting SU up 38-26 at the half. But it's not enough for the Dome Knitter. She wants more. Well, she wants it, and Otis will give it to her. The follow comes down and jams it home. 14 points for Big O, 6 boards, too. You want more dunks? Yep. Z to Wallace. Oof. Check back with the Dome Knitter. Still not enough. Okay, this has got to do it for you then. Todd Bergen on the break. The reverse jam. Well, yeah, she finally likes it. SU wins big, 87-63, and after the game, plenty of good things to talk about, especially the play of Sapola.
Jason's a very good offensive player, and you know he just he's thinking so much about the defensive end that that is going to detract a little bit. But as poorly as he played in the first 2 games, he still scored 8 or 9 points in 17 minutes or 18 minutes, and he is a good offensive player.
It'll come. My defense will come, and my offense will be there. So I just got to practice mostly on my defense, which I've been working on every day in practice.
We're just going out on pressure on defense, and we had a lot of movement on offense. We got a lot of different guys shooting the ball on offense, not just myself going out trying to have a big offensive night, trying to get everybody else involved on the team.
This is our first game with a new coach, a lot of new people, and we're just getting used to it. We're just going to improve the rest of the season. And, I think if we came in here at the end of the year, I think it'd be, we'd be a little bit different. I'm not saying we'd win, but it'd be a lot more competitive of a game.
Well, checking the other college scores, Kansas and Utah in the second half late, the Jayhawks leading it, and Memphis a final over Purdue. And locally, Lemoyne, the Dolphins, a huge win. Adam Stockwell with 16, 5 players in double digits for the Dolphins. Okay, to college football, and the Orangemen ready to kick off against Miami tonight at 7:30. Now, the bowl picture is starting to finally shape up. Whether or not I can explain it is another story, but here we go. If SU beats Miami, Syracuse is probably going to the Gator Bowl to face Clemson. Now, there's an outside chance that the Orange could still go to a top-tier bowl, the Orange or the Sugar, but it looks like the Alliance will go with Virginia Tech after all. So an Orange win probably puts them in the Gator against 8-3 Clemson. If Syracuse loses tonight, they're locked into the CarQuest Bowl. Who they would play, though, is still up in the air. It's either the 4th place team from the SAC, the ACC, I should say, that's North Carolina, or the 5th place team from the SEC. See how I'm confused? Either Alabama, Auburn, or Arkansas. But first, of course, SU has to play the game tonight, and it'll be no cakewalk for Miami. Just ask Coach Butch Davis.
They're electrifying on offense. I mean, McNabb at quarterback is legitimately a game breaker type of a player. I mean, he inevitably in almost every single game, you see a great run, a great throw, him just do something that's absolutely spectacular. The supporting cast is outstanding. Excellent wide receivers. I think probably since the Florida State game, this is without question the best group of athletes, skilled both sides of the ball that we've played.
Speaking of Florida State, the Seminoles and Gators in a huge matchup, number 6 versus number 3 in Gainesville. Like last year, Florida jumping out on top. Danny Werfel in the first to Jock Green, 22 yards, Gators up 7-3. In the second quarter, again, it's Werfel. This time to the left side for Chris Doring. He takes it home, 28-6 Gators. In the third, the Seminoles on the comeback. Warwick Dunn from 3 yards out. The 2-point conversion, they get it, and that makes it 28-14 Gators. Still in the third, Florida State recovers a fumbled punt attempt, and Danny Cannell makes him pay to Adrian Cooper. Now it's 35-24 Florida, but time running out in the fourth for the Seminoles. One last chance, Danny Cannell picked off in the end zone, and Florida wins it. They will move on to the Fiesta Bowl, where they will play Nebraska. The question, would it be for the national championship? Well, this game would decide that. A big one for Gary Moeller, and he would rely on tailback Tim Biaka-Batuka. Over 300 yards on the day for Biaka-Batuka, just running all over the Buckeyes. This sets up a Michigan touchdown early, 7-3 Wolverines. To the fourth quarter we go, down 16. Buckeyes go the length of the field. Bobby Hoying, lots of poise, threads the needle to Buster Tillman. They get the 2-point conversion and get the ball back. Now they're down 8, 1 minute to go. 4th and 10, Hoying intercepted, and the dream season for Ohio State comes to an end. Michigan the winner, and that means Northwestern heads to the Rose Bowl. They'll play USC. To the scores, as we said, it also means the Fiesta Bowl will be the championship game, Nebraska and Florida. Tennessee a winner, Penn State and Michigan a final. Michigan State, I should say, the winner, and Texas A&M leading Christian 24-6 in the fourth. Now, at the beginning of the NBA season, it looked like the Rockets and the Knicks were heading in opposite directions. Houston coming off the repeat, but New York with an aging team, a new coach, and plenty of question marks. So no surprise the Rockets were in first place heading into today's game against the Knicks. But as for New York, just a half a game back of Orlando in the Atlantic. Rudy Tomjanovich, at least he's not wearing those ugly new uniforms from the Rockets. Clyde Drexler, doesn't matter what he's wearing. The 3 Rockets up 5 in the first. But Nelly's Knicks come back. Mace, the baseball pass to Patrick Ewing. He puts it in, and that ties it at 30. To the third quarter, Derek Harper from the top beyond the arc pulls up and hits. Knicks up 4, 66-62. Robert Horry, so athletic. Watch the move here. How do they do that? But Horry, Akeem Olajuwon, and Coach T would all get ejected following this play. Watches Olajuwon, throws the ball in the ref's face. Can't get that. So undermanned, the Rockets end up falling to the Knicks, 103-88 the final. So New York now tied for first place in the Atlantic Division with Orlando Magic.
Great. And the dome knitter, any word on what she was making?
Who knows, but maybe we'll find out in the next home game.
All right, thanks very much. Coming up next, Central New Yorkers take to the numbers, the daily number 322, and your win-for combination this Saturday night, 6550. Well, trying to put the newscast together, but did try to see the SU game when I could. They played pretty well today, so, I mean, it's just a tough loss all around.
Oh, just a heartbreaker for the Orangemen. Everything is going into this game, the whole season really riding on this one game on the road, and I don't know. You know, watching tonight's game, you could see an air of confidence in the team that really had no place being there. I mean, you combine the last 3 games between SU and Miami, and it's 92-16. Ouch, bad guys. But when Jim Turner returns that opening kickoff to the 40, you knew Syracuse would not be blown away. The only question was, would they be okay in the end? We go to the game, and Coach P with the headset down. Coach Davis, the headset up. Hey, 2 well-coached teams either way. Early on, like we said, Donovan McNabb, he needed a big game to get SU going, and boy, he came through. McNabb dropping back and looking left to Marvin Harrison, 25 yards, and that sets up the first score.